Okay, let's get started.
Ghosts are real. That much I know.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. So you can see from the title, today's video is going to be my full review with spoilers of the 80s classic Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Now, as always, all my reviews are with spoilers if you don't want them. I do not do spoiler-free reviews for films that are already out, so I apologize. This is not a video for you if you're not looking for the spoilers. But saying that disclaimer, let's get into the video. Now, Killer Klowns from Outer Space follows some aliens that look like clowns come from outer space and terrorize a small town. To give a brief summary of the story, the film is going to follow some teenagers that are in the middle of their dates when they see a shooting star. They decide to follow it since they believe that they aren't that far from where it fell. When they arrive to the place, it's actually a circus tent. They go into the inside and they quickly realize that they are in fact in a spaceship that somehow looks like a circus, and everything that is on the inside is circus related. We have cotton candy, popcorn, and the aliens, they actually look like clowns. They freak out, they go to the police. The police, of course, doesn't believe them, but eventually the whole town is going to realize that they are telling the truth, since little by little the clowns are going to start killing people in order to get them back to the ship in cotton candy cocoon to later drink their blood. But by the very end of the film, of course, our protagonists, they are the heroes of the film and they kill the clowns. This film is just 1 hour and 28 minutes. It's very short and very straight to the point. Going very fast into the things I like. The first thing I do love about this film is the costumes. The clowns, they aren't made in CGI or any type of computer program or software. They were made of rubber costumes. They look way too real for the time that it was made. This is a film that aged pretty well, especially because of the practical effects, because something that is very common, it's in films from the 70s, 80s, very old films, that of course the CGI that was used at the time, it wasn't as advanced as now, and usually that doesn't age well. But when they use more practical effects than CGI, the result can be the contrary, that is that the film actually aged well, and is the case of Killer Klowns. Killer Klowns from Outer Space is also a cult classic at this point. It was well received by the critics and the audience at the time, and is still considered an 80s classic. This is actually one of the few 80s horror movies that doesn't have a sequel, a prequel, a remake, a reboot, whatever you want to call it. The only thing that we have is an upcoming video game that it looks very, very good. A sequel has been in pre-production ever since the first film came out, but they never really get to do it. On 2012, they tried to do the sequel, but they weren't able, and by 2018 Sci-Fi is the one that has the rights for maybe doing a sequel in the future, but we have no idea. The second thing that I do like is the story. I think that is pretty fun and original, because yes, they are aliens, but we have never seen aliens like this, clowns, and also they're funny. This film to a certain point is a horror comedy, and it's a fun watch. Is funny, actually funny, seeing the killer clowns all the way to town and seeing their different ways of killing people, because at the end of the day, yeah, they do kill people, but since they are put on these cotton candy cocoons, which is bizarre and hella creepy, but at the same time is funny as hell. I would love to have one of those. They actually, Spirit Halloween sells them. I don't have place in my room for that, but I will love, and they actually look pretty cool for decoration, which brings me to probably one of the things I like the most, and is, although it sounds stupid, the aesthetic. I love how they were able to mix the neon colors and all the aspects of clowns and circus, but making it horror and creepy, because seeing this, you wouldn't be scared, but the design on the clowns, they are very scary, because clowns, they tend to be scary. But in the case of this one, it's a mix between being scary but also funny. But the film makes a very good job in mixing all those two things together and creating this masterpiece, because at the end of the day it is a masterpiece. Another thing that I like, and I think that they did pretty well, is the soundtrack, because it's a mix between classic circus music with aliens. I don't know the science behind the official song of the film, but it's very 80s, of course, but mix aliens and clowns, a triangle, and it works perfectly. I think that the song is hella cool. I love the song as a standalone song. Works very good as an 80s classic. If you ask me, clowns and aliens, I don't see it together, but somehow they made it and it works so well. The only thing that I dislike, or that I could be complaining and saying that is the only flaw of the film, is the script. It's very simple, very cheesy, very 80s. You can expect a little bit more from it. It is what it is. It's a film about killer clowns from outer space. And yeah, the jokes, they can be, watching them today, because I'm pretty sure that at the time that the film came out, they were hilarious. The whole humor and all the lines, pretty sure they were amazing. But right now watching them, it's like, So that would be the only thing, but at the same time, I understand that the film is from the 80s, so I can have higher expectations or being expecting something else than an 80s horror film, because we all know that they are very easy to recognize. They are all the same to a certain extent. So Killer Klowns is one of them. It's a film that I love watching. Like I said, this is a fun watch. It's enjoyable. It's interesting. It's engaging. Like, seriously, you want to watch this and you're going to be having such a good time. Like I said, the aesthetic, although it sounds hella stupid, and the design of the clowns, everything works so well. I love, they have a gun. Spirit Halloween also sells the gun. That is the one that they use for making the cotton candy cocoons. I would love to have that as a decoration prop, because a Halloween party of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, that must look amazing, because it has so much potential in terms of the decor and the whole theme around it. Something that I would love to do in the future. Even a haunted house on Horror Nights about Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I think that that will be amazing to see. I don't know if that could ever even be possible, but that would be so good to watch and experience. So for me, this film is a 4 out of 5 and an 8 out of 10. For me, it's a very good 80s film. Like I said, I'm kind of glad to a certain point that it doesn't have sequels, remakes, reboots, because it stays there, the original material, and it's a cult classic. So I am pretty sure that if they ever do a sequel or a remake, it's going to be hard to make it even better. And more on this time, so where I am sure that the costumes, they won't be the same. I know for sure that the only way that this film could be good as a remake or a reboot would be with a lot of practical effects and FX makeup, because with CGI this will be horrible. Awful. This has been all for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video.
Bye. Real. That much I know.